I should just get David Darling in to review these. Yes, it's a Codemasters game, which means David Darling has done his own review yet again, so we better get this out of the way at the start. Technically brilliant, ultra fast, infuriatingly addictive, mega blast 'em up, wicked. Not my words, the words of David Darling. It's 2125, crime baron Emilio Bocca rules the grim futuristic wastelands and towering tenements of Los Angeles. And basically you take on the role of a member of the hit squad to work your way through, I think it's 12 levels. And we're going to start off on the CPC, and the coders are Binary Dynamics. They've handily included digitised graphics of themselves on the loading screen. There are only Amstrad and Spectrum versions, and you get to choose which digitised character you want to be. Xena, Ace, Stack, Zara, none of whom look anything like the artwork on the cover. In fact, what they actually look like is a local computer club. You're entering level 1, you've got 5 lives and you have energy as well. No matter which character you get, you start off with the same weapon and the same abilities. Touching the monsters drains your energy. It's a teleport disc up the top there, just gone past it. And that's a teleport booth. A burger will give us energy back. But first of all, we've got to get this teleport disc. I believe you can pick up power-ups along the way, and they will vary depending on which character you're playing with. Energy too low comes up, and now I'm dead. 2 lives. I thought it said 5 lives at the start. It's 3 lives, so I've got 2 of my 3 lives left. Food gives energy. Oh, the trouble is the baddies move around randomly, and it's very easy to touch them and get all your energy sapped at once. Over the Spectrum, we will start on the 48k. And someone said in the comments on another game the other day, why did the Spectrum look so, in their words, dirty? And that's because this is what a real 48k looks like. We'll go over to the +2 in a bit with this RGB goodness, but no. And this is good for a 48k because I'm straight up the composite. And of course, that means my 48k has been modded. And I'm actually getting better picture than anyone would have done back in the day. So it's a little bit faster on the Specky. I've already completed level 1. Graphics avoid colour clash by you passing behind everything, which is quite handy, and all the baddies are the same colour as you. So no issues there. There is a nice amount of colour in the game. It's a 48k only game, so there's no 128k sound. The energy low thing is getting on my nerves already because, well, it just stops the game. And you just sit there when it tells you energy's low. And that's how quickly energy gets sapped. But we have done level 2, now we're on to level 3. Crash gave the game 70%, Sinclair user 87%, and your Sinclair 7 out of 10. We're back on the Amstrad. Oh, I've died. It reminds me a little bit of Terminus on the Mad Games label, the Mastertronic Mad Games label, in that you've got different team members that you can play in these big chunky graphics. Although in Terminus, every different team member had a different ability. Levels are quite compact, although there are some larger ones. It's always the same thing. Find the teleport disc and then get out of there. Also pick up any power-ups along the way. Should be the end of the level there. No time limit, just that horrible draining of the energy from those baddies that just kind of randomly bounce around the screen. They spawn on those little upward arrow white boxes. So see, it's all down here. Some McDonald's branding there. Oh. I need to find some special boots. There you go, boots. The boots are a power up that let you jump higher. And I'm going to need that because I can't get to the teleport disc without jumping higher on this level. So in terms of the biggest difficulty of the game is the baddies, because of the way they spawn and randomly move around. At the end of this video, you'll see a list of names of the people who are kind enough to support Chinny Vision on Patreon. And perhaps you might give thought to supporting the channel. You'll notice there were no adverts at the start until such time in the future when you're watching this, when YouTube forces us to have adverts. But at the moment, there's no adverts at the front. And if that money from Patreon allows me to run the channel in the way I want to and buy things in, I'm very, very grateful to the kind people who help keep this channel running. Crossing over to the Specky, you can see it's much, much faster. Run across there. I mean, my character there, she's got quite large heels on. I'm not sure you could run that fast in those heels. There you go. That's where you needed the boots for, jumping up there. And now we need to go and find the teleport disc. There we go. The game does have other things like shields and invulnerability, but again, I'm yet to see it on these first few levels. This looks like a BBC game with all this magenta and green and yellow. Very like a Beeb game. How do we jump up there? It is nothing. An extra life I got there. There's me complaining about lack of power. And then I got a power up that freezes the monsters. Okay, we've got that. That's good. Back on the Amstrad. Jump up here. Find that teleport disc. The animation on the Amstrad's really good, actually. Look how smoothly everything moves. I mean, the graphics are nothing to write. They look... Well, I mean, what's this? The 88? The graphics on either of these versions are nothing to write home about, but they do the job. And it's a Codemasters game that isn't a simulator, isn't a Dizzy game, and is just trying to do something a little bit, I say different. It's not different because we've seen other games like this before, but oh, if only these enemies weren't so annoying. Little bit of music would be nice. But it doesn't really feel like a Codemasters game. This feels like more the kind of thing Mastertronic were putting out a couple of years before, perhaps, or even a year before, 87. It doesn't really scream Codemasters. There's no big Codemasters logo on the screen. Oh, here we go, back here on the Amstrad. We're just... Oh, lots of energy there. Down we go, there's a teleport disc, there's the booth. That was quick. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Codemasters game. It's just... I think they used to... Or I think later they insisted when games came into them they were branded up for Codemasters. Back on the Specky. Nice dual toning on the platforms there. The two bluey colours. And look, I have a weapons power up. I have vertical bullets, so I shoot vertically and in front as well. But it's taken so long to get. There's 12 levels in all. I think this is one of the final levels actually here. And I have a laser, which is the least useful weapon on a level where lots of things appear above you. And what I have to do is go up here and then make a critical jump at the top. Oh, I've died again. Infinite lives. Yeah, you're not going to get far without an infinite lives poke. Oh, I needed to land on that teleport thing there. No, there's no way to get up there unless you go round all that pipe work I just jumped up again. Which you really need a weapon where you can shoot upwards. Oh. The Hit Squad isn't a particularly innovative budget game. It doesn't even feel like a Codemasters game, if I'm honest. But again, when you're looking at budget games and what you want from them, this does pretty well. The biggest frustration is the baddies. They just spawn randomly and seem to move around randomly and can sap so much of your energy really quickly. They just cross into your path and then stay on top of you, and then bam, low energy and that annoying message, and then it's all gone. On the Amstrad, yes, it looks graphically dated. It looks like a BBC Micro game, but the animation is very smooth and it's enjoyable, and there's certainly enough levels there to keep you amused for quite some time. On the Speccy, again, it avoids colour clash by you walking behind objects. It doesn't look visually special, but it's got it all together. It doesn't look messy, it doesn't look unattractive. It's just what you kind of expect from a budget game. I have been pondering why this game's been forgotten about in the intervening years, and I guess it's because it is just a little bit unremarkable and doesn't fit into that Codemasters mould of the big logos on the screen and all those things that Codemasters have to reinforce their Codemasters games. And that's a pity really, because you know what? I'd rather play this than quite a few of their simulator titles.